We've been helping the Army help others for over 8 years and are currently working with over 600 corps and Salvo stores in 3 countries.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm the Volunteer Services Manager for the Salvation Army in London, Ontario, Canada. I've been using Better Impact software now for scheduling and managing our volunteers for over 3 years, especially at Christmas time when we manage over 1,000 bell ringers, but also during the year when we have our volunteers for our social service centers and thrift stores. And whenever we need help, we just give Better Impact a call, and they're right there to help us with our problems.
Our enterprise system has a hierarchy built in from the territory through to divisions and down to the corps or other ministry unit level. This manager of volunteers at the corps level or a specific program will be able to do things such as communicate via email or text with all or some subset of her volunteers. She won't have any access to the volunteers in other accounts. At the divisional level, the administrators will be able to communicate with all or some subset of the volunteers within their division. In the territorial headquarters, the administrators will have the ability to communicate with all or some subset of the volunteers across the whole territory. Reporting works in a similar fashion. This manager of volunteers at the corps or program level will be able to generate reports on all or some subset of her volunteers. At the divisional level, the administrators will be able to generate reports on all or some subset of volunteers across their division. At territorial headquarters, the administrators will have the ability to generate reports on all or some subset of volunteers across the whole territory. Divisional and territorial headquarters have the ability to monitor what is communicated to volunteers and the ongoing relationship volunteers have with the Corps. From knowing where in the territory each volunteer is engaged to reports on volunteers, hours, and outcomes, the territorial headquarters can have a bird's-eye view of everything related to volunteerism across the territory. Territorial headquarters can standardize the volunteer experience and data collection in a number of ways, and none of these require assistance from the IT department. Some of these ways include the following. The colors and other branding elements of the volunteer portal are easy to change and are controlled by territorial headquarters. Any change made here flows through to the volunteer portal for every volunteer in every corps. Adverts for volunteer opportunities and full-fledged position descriptions can be created as templates at the territory level and then replicated and tweaked if needed by each corps. Volunteers will have a consistent experience wherever they live throughout the territory. Volunteer management staff at the territorial headquarters can easily add whatever custom fields they want to the volunteer profiles. These are just examples used in another territory. Custom fields added here are automatically part of the volunteer profiles in every corps account and, where applicable, in their application forms and in their volunteers' own personal portals. A corps or other ministry unit can make their local account their own in ways that make sense. Some of these ways include the following. A corps can choose which opportunities designed by the territorial HQ they need to advertise, turn them off when they are not needed, and if desirable, create their own from scratch. Each corps can assign different people to customizable security levels that have specific rights in the software. Some can have access across most functions, while others might only be able to see reports. Each corps can post local pictures and news that will appear in the volunteer portal. Applications flow directly into the individual corps when a new volunteer applies. For the volunteer, they can browse or search for volunteer opportunities in a variety of ways, including your Ways to Help themes, across their division, or their local corps. Each corps can even have its own volunteer opportunity page. When a volunteer finds something they like, they can fill in an online application. Volunteers will feel a real connection with the Salvation Army, not only at the Corps level, but also as a part of a larger army through territorial news and social media in their personal volunteer portal. They'll also find all of the volunteer information in one place. They can sign up for shifts they're qualified to fill, check their schedule, log their volunteer hours, see reports on their volunteer hours, email their volunteer manager, and update their profile. And they can do all of this from their computer, tablet, or smartphone. If a volunteer happens to move from one corps or division to another, all of their existing information flows with them.
Hi, I'm Rob Bonesdale. I was introduced to Volunteer Impact as the Territorial Volunteer Director for the Central Territory USA. The benefits of Volunteer Impact made such a difference for our territory that when my office moved 2 hours away and I was no longer able to commute, I took the opportunity of joining Better Impact so that I could help the Salvation Army and other organizations around the world. As someone that grew up and worked for the Salvation Army, I can tell you without hesitation that by choosing Volunteer Impact as your volunteer engagement solution, it will be a decision that you will be glad you made for years to come.
There's so much more we'd love to share with you. We invite you to visit us at www.betterimpact.co.uk and then get in touch.